case. I have seen those people progress in life. Until the panic attack comes again and they realize they haven't been doing their spiritual practices. If you are continuously doing your spiritual practices, as the yoga signs tell us, without a break for a long time and with all your heart, then you'll be constant for a little while. But if you stop the practices, you'll be fine for another maybe 6 months, 1 year, some people even 5 years. And what happens again? Life with all its wonderful problems come to you. Death. I'm sorry about the loss of your aunt. I knew her quite well. I think I'd like to keep 30 seconds of silence, 1 minute of silence for Denise Lima. I don't know if many of you knew her, but she was my children's PE teacher at one point, and it's her aunt. So if you don't mind closing your eyes, inhale a deep breath. And just from your heart to the universe, see rays of light going out to this wonderful soul who's entering a new dimension. Peace to all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. She was very young, 51.
She was 55.
Oh, 55. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm actually going to ask my uncle if he minds me borrowing the recording, because she actually made the recording while she was sick. And it was played at the church yesterday, and it was inspiring.
Fantastic.
So,
Yeah, she was a very spiritual person. Yeah, very spiritual person. And so she was ready to go then.
She was ready to go.
Okay, so you mustn't be frightened of death. You know, we all have to go through it, so get used to the idea. And the most important thing you need to get used to is don't be frightened of death. And that's why the panic comes. Be frightened that you don't live well. That's even more scary, I think. Because not living well in the short time that we are given is what causes the panic. And Sri Patanjali in the Yoga Sciences tells us so clearly what are the things that we do wrong in our lives or we don't observe in our lives that these are the things that keep us from being our true selves. You know, from being happy, from being peaceful, from being useful in this life. He tells us very clearly, first of all, when you cause harm to others, you're actually causing harm to yourself. We talked about ahimsa the past few weeks, non-violence. That's what Gandhiji taught, non-violence. And we talked about non-violence on every level. You know, we read all the spiritual books. Why don't we grow? Because we say, oh, don't be violent. And we go home, scream, shout, slam the door at somebody. We have no awareness of what we're saying or what we're doing. We swear without even thinking what effect it's going to have on the child, on the person. We talk like we own everybody. We have ownership over people. Oh, you're my child, so you have to do it this way. You're my wife, you're my husband. Ownership, ownership. That's all violence. And we do this on a daily basis. How can we be happy? How can we be happy? There's a difference between guidance and love and ownership. Nothing is ours, the Sri Patanjali tells us. Learn not only to practice meditation, practice all these things, but learn at the end of it all, non-attachment, because nothing is yours. And he keeps reminding us, can you even take a piece of hair with you when you're gone? No, you cannot even do that. So why are we fighting? Why do we argue with each other? Why do families break up because my husband's not making enough money or you're making too little and I can't get an extra TV set? Oh my God, you risk your whole life for a TV set or a new home. And you know what? They stay behind when you die for somebody else to fight over. Get real. And this is spiritual teaching. Get real. Don't only talk about it. Live it, live it, live it. And Sri Patanjali gives us the living, the method. So clearly, non-violence, practice it in your life, in the way you speak, in the way you think. And you can change it. You have a violent thought. Yes, of course, we're human, we get angry, but we're also human. We've been given the freedom to change the thought. So you see that you're an angry person, or you cause violence, or you're a coward, or you're greedy, and you can see your life is not working, do something about it. People are so pathetic these days. I can't. Get on your, why can't you? It's your own life you're saving. You know, if I'm willing to give you 2 hours consultation or 20 hours consultation to save your life, why aren't you able to do that for yourself? Why don't you love yourself enough? Why don't you help yourself? Laziness is the clue. And this is what all the masters say. This is our biggest weakness. Laziness, laziness, laziness. We're never too lazy to have that piece of food, or to have that drug, or to go to the hairdressers, or to buy the new suit, or to buy a new, Mac, or whatever you want, or the latest iPhone, Not too lazy to do that, but too lazy to even practice living a good life. And what happens with the iPhone? I mean, they're quite nice. I do like them. But everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. For me, it's really good when I'm awake and communicate with people. And it's an instrument to serve. But people now we've forgotten to be like moderate. Everything is extreme. It's like we don't even know how to be nice. You either have to shout or you be sickly sweet. It's nothing in the middle. Either you're so sweet that people can manipulate you, which is also not the way to be. Then we say, oh, we're very good and everybody's stepping over you, but I'm a good person and that's why you're so miserable. Do you see? We're not here to be manipulated. We're not here to hurt anyone. We are here to live together happily, respecting each other. And this is why I love the word namaste. It means the divine in me recognizes the divine in you. We all talk about the divine within, God within. We're all creatures created by the divine, or the Big Bang. We came from the Big Bang. And quantum physics has proven there is consciousness everywhere. They call it quantum consciousness. Religions call it God. What's the difference? Words, 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 words. One person calls it Jesus, another one Shiva, words, 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 words. And people fight over words. I say water in Chinese. In Chinese you have words. Soy, that means water. Siu, which means little. Soy, which means stupid. And this is what's happening. Honestly, they don't all sound the same, don't they? I speak Cantonese, as you can tell. But they all sound similar. One has the wrong pronunciation. Look what happens. And of course, over the years, we've got so many different cultures. How lucky are we to have so many beautiful cultures and so many beautiful churches and temples to visit, to walk into, to see the beauty and creativity of this world and this universe. They're there for us to enjoy every single one. And how few people can enjoy the beauty of every single tradition. And I think people miss out so much in life. I can walk into any temple and I say, wow, it's so beautiful. I can go to a church and pray and love Lord Jesus. That's the wonderful thing. And I can go to a Hindu temple and love Lord Krishna or Lord Shiva. Not because we don't look at the thing or the person. We look at that energy, the teaching of service. All great masters taught us one simple truth. Many, and we're covering them all now. Non-violence. Correct? Would you all agree? Have you heard any spiritual master tell you, kill one another? You've heard many men say that masters have said that. You've heard men say this, but you have never heard any master say that. And we respect the masters. Why? Because we know that to be true in our deepest of hearts. We know that is the truth. That's why we love them. And that's why we cry when we see beauty. And this is why when we see kind deeds, tears come to our eyes. And we see people who work beyond what they can normally do and give so much to the world. We just love them because we recognize that in us, you see? If we recognize it, this is who we are. This is who we are, creatures of love. Why would we feel happy when we see that? Unless we've been that way. As my master said, why would you ask for an apple if you've never tasted it? Why would you ask for peace and love in your life if you've never known it? And this material love that we get today is so shallow. You know, so superficial. There's no depth in relationships anymore. It's all about pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Life is not like that. And all the spiritual masters tell you, you will go through bad times, you will go through good times. Accept that. But if you go for pleasure, 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 every time you get something that's not pleasurable in your life, what will happen? You'll run away. Will you ever find your peace? You're constantly running, 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 running. But who are you running from? Yourself. You're just running from you. So why not stop running and start finding and listen to these great words of all these teachers from generations before, because they work. They work. If you practice it, your life works. Maybe the majority of people will find you strange, but will the majority of people be with you when you go through your worst times? Ask yourself, how many people are really with you in your worst times? So we work to please everyone, and in your hour of need, who is there for you? Think about it. And who do you hurt the most? The person next to you? The person who's going to be helping you? My mother, my father, you're on your deathbed. Who's going to be there? Your mother and your father. Who's going to be there? Your children. Who was at my husband's deathbed? His children, myself, the grandkids. Everybody was wonderful, though, I must say. They respected us by staying away. Thank you. Because we needed our time. But that's the truth, isn't it? And then it's the people around us that we always complain about. So it's really, we got this distorted vision of happiness. And the science says, just follow these great rules and you'll find your peace. But you have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it. And we're all going to face violence in our life. And you give it back with love. Just today, a lovely person came to me and she said, you know, she had to tell her mother something that her mother didn't want to hear. And her mother got so angry with her and said, our relationship is never going to work. And you know what she answered? Mom, I love you anyway. Now that is yoga. For me, that is yoga. Although the child is so much in pain, she's let it go. What's happened? When she walks away, the mother will have to think. She'll have to think. But if she had fought back and created a war, what would have happened? Both of them would have lived a life for the rest of their lives. They would have had this mumbo-jumbo, cause, effect, cause, effect. So one person always has to bow down, and I always say the yogi does. Why? Because you're the one that wants peace. You're the one that wants peace. Do you want peace? Do you want peace? You know, this is a question I keep asking people. Do you want peace? If you do, practice these things and you'll be so much at peace. And your life will take on, of course you will have the little things, nuances that all people have. It's normal. If everything was so perfect, there'd be nothing to do. And we're here to work, we're here to love, we've come at this time, which we call in the Hindu scriptures, they predicted this time to be coming, the Kali Yuga. The age where everybody will fight with each other. So we've chosen to come at this very special time to reawaken. It's a very special time for this earth. To reawaken the truth, you know, the real meaning of life. And that's what we come to do, isn't it great? But you can't preach to somebody something you don't practice in your life. So first of all, practice non-violence in your life. Every single day, ahimsa. Every single day, starting from the moment you wake up in the morning. How am I going to get up? Simple. Am I going to get up in a bed? Oh, the alarm clock, bang! Starting from there, gently put off the alarm clock. Wake up. Good morning, new day. Welcome the new day. Honest, I promise you, if you just practice this simple practice for 1 week, already you will see a change in your life. 1 week. Give yourself a chance. I tell people to do this practice. They do it for 2 or 3 days, and by the 4th day they've forgotten. You know? So don't forget. That's what you do. Start with everything. Beautiful day. You know, yesterday I was sitting in my office giving a consultation to somebody who was going through a difficult time in her life, and we were just talking about beautiful things, you know, try to distract her mind, talk about art, talk about beauty, and suddenly the rain falls down. We haven't seen the rain for so long, right? And I go, wow, look at that rain. And she goes, oh, Nalanie, it's so beautiful to see the rain. And I said, look at your face. You're happy. 2 minutes ago you were miserable. And you see how easy it is to change your mind? It is not difficult. You're just distracted. Please practice this, all right? When the negative thought comes, look at something pretty, something beautiful, something that makes you elevated, something that makes you laugh. Help yourself. Nobody's there 24 hours with you except you. Please be your best friend. In the Bhagavad Gita it says, we are our best friends and our worst enemies. And for me, when I started yoga, I said, I'm tired of being my worst enemy. I'm so exhausted with it. I'm just fed up. I want to be my best friend from now on. And a best friend is compassionate, is kind, is loving, and will tell you off when you go wrong. They will not lie to you and say, yes, everything you do is right, which is what you would do with yourself. So I made myself my best friend. And every time I did something wrong, bring that ego down and apologize, which I never would do prior to that. You see, because prior to that was always my husband's fault. Never mind. It's the truth, you know. After yoga, oh yes, I guess it's both our faults, you know. Yes, he has his fault, but so do I. I stopped pointing fingers. That was and who got the peace? I got the peace by stopping to do that. Otherwise, you're just like a machine, nag, 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 nag. And now sometimes the husbands do that with the wives, nag, nag, nag. The wives do with that, nag, nag. I go, how do you breathe in that house with all the time being told what to do? You should be doing this, and you should be doing this, and you should be doing this, and I want this at this time, and there should be this and this time, and why didn't you do the dishes, and why, oh my God, you didn't leave to marry somebody or be with someone to hear all this shouting, did you? You wanted to find some kind of life together that is full of spirit, that is full of togetherness. Get up in the morning. Even if the one partner doesn't pray or doesn't do yoga, no big deal. Their prayer should be laughter. Teach them with smiling. Teach them with gratitude. But you can only teach them if you do it. You can't say, you do it, and your face is like this. So be very clear about violence. It's very, very subtle. Be very clear how you start your day. It's not the big things, remember. It's the small things that keep purity of mind. Lord Jesus said, blessed are the pure, they shall see God. What is purity? Clarity, isn't it? When you think of purity, what do you think of? Anybody?
Water.
Water.
Yeah.
Gives you life. Neutral. Neutralizes us. Purity is neutral. It doesn't go good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. It's just pure. And if you see water, it reflects all the colors that go around it. So if I put, it's not a see-through glass. It doesn't matter. So I was going to say, if I put,
Blaze.
yeah. glass in front of me, you see straight through, right? And this is what a yogi should be. We should reflect everything and the beauty that it is. Just reflect it. And if it's not good, we just deflect it. We need to learn to protect ourselves also. Because in this world we live, there is violence. There is violence. People will cause violence to us. So it's important also to be very wise, wisdom. Choose your friends carefully. The 6th century saint Shankaracharya said, always try to be in good company. Always try to be in satsang. Because when you're in good company, you're not in bad company. And when you're in good company, your mind gets elevated. And when your mind is elevated, he says, then you think of all the wonderful things and you detach from the other things. And in that way, you become a Jivan Mukti, which means you become free while you're living on this earth. And that's the goal of yoga, to become a free person while you live. But first, always watch, keep good company. And if you know that you're going to be around people who disturb you a lot, and many people, oh, I could see my friend, but she's always disturbing me, she's telling me I have to do this, or he's telling me, come on, have another 10 drinks, doesn't matter, if you go home late tonight, because, why are you listening to your wife? Stay away from that. Don't listen to them. They're destroying your peace. For what? For 2 or 3 drinks, and then the next day you argue for maybe 3 weeks, and then you have a breakdown? Is it worth it, 2 or 3 drinks? Just call. Do you mind if I stay just half an hour longer? I'll come home early and be with you. But this is all bad company, and this is what happens. And we're very weak in bad company. And now the women are doing the same. Going out with their friends, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be very blunt, everybody's sleeping with everybody's husband or wife. I'm really sorry about that. So how can you trust? Where is their loyalty? We talk about loyalty. We all talk about loyalty. We love loyalty. They should be loyal to us. And then why are you doing all this if you're so loyal and so kind and so good? Oh, but Nalanie, I can't help. It's all physical. It's physical. We're going to face physical attractions. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. And this is the sutra that we're coming to today, which is non-stealing. Sri Patanjali tells us, and I should let you know what page and what. Do you know what page it is? In I think it's Sutra
37, Book 2.
Sutra 37, Book 2. And for those who want this book, Nalanie is putting more.
Page 133.
The song's still there. Not anymore. Sorry. Somebody's already stayed.
133.
Thank you. And it says here, to one established in non-stealing, all wealth comes. People call this a Hindu book. It really is from a saint that nobody really knows who he was or what he was about, written about 4,000 years ago. They say it came from the north, from the wise ones, the Aryan race, which was really a white race, and this knowledge went throughout the earth. But a lot of the earth dissipated this knowledge. It's also said, because this knowledge is identical to what Lord Jesus taught. I'm not saying what people said Lord Jesus taught. Lord Jesus taught non-violence. Lord Jesus taught all these things. Sri Patanjali taught all these things. Swami Satchidananda taught all those things. All of them said, not in the same words, truth is one, paths are many. It's just one truth. We all come from one global family. Einstein, when he split the atom, realized the same. Consciousness We all come from one consciousness. And now, like I said, quantum consciousness is what they call it. And science is also proving the same truth. So we all know this. And how do we live in this consciousness? By these simple, simple rules. Respecting each other, loving each other, caring, and holding back. Remember, the whole science starts with Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha Tadat Rastue Swarupe Vastana. With the restraints of the modification of the mind stuff is yoga, and then the Siya abides in its own true nature. Meaning, when you learn to restrain those thoughts that drive you crazy, oh, I have to be with this one tonight, and it doesn't matter if I hurt 100 people to doing this, you know, you have to restrain them, bring them back, be aware of what you're causing. I'm not saying anything is bad, I'm not saying anything is good, I'm just saying action, reaction. Watch action, reaction, cause and effect. It's a scientific rule. What you put in is what you're going to get out. So don't say, why am I suffering? Why has God punished me? When you punished yourself by not following the golden rules. Live honorably and you shall be honored. You shall be honored. I know it's hard things to hear. People don't want to hear it anymore. You know, they think it's old-fashioned. But I tell you, at least old-fashioned is happy. And all this modern thinking is driving people crazy. I don't see people happy. So it starts off with saying, restrain, restrain. When you learn to restrain, you love yourself, you respect yourself. And then the Siya abides in its own true nature. And then you see who you really are. Oh, I love to be in peace. You know, a simple example. Addicts, you know, drug addicts, alcoholics, etc. Any kind of addicts. There's so many today. Emotional, you know, there's so much emotional background, what is the word? Emotional blackmail. Yeah, going on these days. That's stealing, you know. Addiction is stealing because you're stealing somebody else's peace. And a simple example from any addict when they come and speak to me is, oh, Nalanie, I love myself so much today because I was tempted all week and I said no. I feel so happy. When I fall into addiction, I am so unhappy. And I tell them, keep repeating this to yourself again and again and again. When I fall into addiction, I am so unhappy. Do I want to be unhappy all my life? And if you constantly ask yourself this question, you'll say, no, I want to be happy. So you reinforce your power. This is getting God power, higher power, the higher spirit. This is what it means. When you work in this kind of atmosphere of non-violence, non-stealing, you get a power that you don't even know where it comes from. Because why? It's pure. Blessed are the pure, they shall see God. You are living in that God energy. You are living in that energy when you practice these things. So life will change for you. So ask yourself, what are the things that make you unhappy? And simply restrain. How many people have said, I don't like that I am always angry. So I tell them, work with your anger. If you don't like it, what should you do? They agree. It's, yeah, it's amazing grace. Yeah, so why don't we join them? Can you sing? Yeah, I once was lost. Who start voice? All of the music. But now. Was blind, but now I see.
Carry on.
It's a bit slow.
It's very slow. It's very.
Stop.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. At least I chose. Yeah. You know, I just love the way God talks to us with that lovely song. You know, See, we could have looked at, noise, right? But if you hear beyond the noise of all the songs that the bagpipe is playing, what is he playing? Amazing Grace. What kind of message are we getting? Do you see? When you live in this kind of energy field, those are the kind of messages you see all the time. All the time. And very quickly too. And magic appears in your life. Because nothing is annoying. Everything is teaching you something. Everything is giving you what you need to hear. So by the practice of non-stealing, all wealth comes. Why do we steal things? And I'm talking about stealing people's time, people's energy, stealing ideas from other people and saying they're yours, stealing what they have and keeping it for you. Something that does not belong to you, you take for you. Everybody clear on that? Anybody disagree? So that's stealing, isn't it? And stealing goes very, very deep. It's not subtle, it's really deep. We steal from our own lives when we don't live well. We steal from time when we waste it. And we know we steal from time when we waste it because we don't feel good about it. Oh, I wasted the whole day. I was saying I was going to do it, then I did, and the whole day's gone and I didn't do it. And you don't even like it when you do that. When you're really tired and you need to rest. And then you go, I'm resting because I'm really tired. Different feeling, right? But when you procrastinate, what happens? You feel horrible. You feel you're wasting your life. And that's when panic attacks occur. Because we procrastinate when it comes to our soul language. We procrastinate. We wait, constantly waiting. Oh, I can do it tomorrow. This is all too fancy. But what is tomorrow? What is today? Who are you? Keep reminding yourself, who are you? Who are you? The yoga science says, Jnana Yoga we call it, says, ask yourself constantly, who am I? By asking this question constantly, you will know that you are not who you think you are. You are not who you think you are. How many lifetimes did you have before you came into this body? How many lifetimes will you have when you leave this body? Where did you come from beyond this body? Who are you? Do you know? Can you answer? Can you intuit it? You can only intuit it when you work with this experience called the divine energy. When you melt into that oneness. And you cannot melt into this oneness when you treat anybody else inferior to you. You cannot. When you hurt them. This is what keeps us away from the divine. There's no punishment. There never is. In the Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, it tells you, it's called the yoga of devotion. If you really want to know the divine, it says, you cannot, those who have fear, guilt, and worry, cannot know this divine energy. Fear, guilt, worry, anger is another one. You cannot know it. That's why you're unhappy. There are your clues. Why would you have fear? There's something to hide. It's something you're afraid of. What are you afraid of? Look into that. Did you do something to hurt somebody? If you have, go say sorry quickly and get it over. Are you fearful of somebody else because you're a coward? Go confront them. Get it over with. Why are you a coward? You're a human being with the same, with the same gifts that every other human being has. So what are you afraid of? Who are you afraid of? Guilt? Deal with it. Start again. If you've done something wrong, don't repeat it. They say making mistakes is normal. Don't we all make mistakes? But it's a fool who keeps repeating it. And I'm sorry, but I made so many fools in my life. Sorry to be so blunt. Learn quickly. Learn quickly from your mistakes. Doesn't matter if you made them. Say, thank God I made this mistake, because I can be more compassionate to that person that makes the same mistake in the future. And I can help them with compassion and love, because compassion and love are the greatest healing tools that you can use. Tell them, oh, you did this, oh, you should be put here, God is punishing. Please don't do that to anyone. That's so cruel. That is so cruel. You did it, but learn from it. Don't repeat it. And I notice people keep repeating the same thing. You tell them, don't do it, they do it again. And then they say, why do you get angry? I told you once, you should learn one time, right? So if you don't learn one time, we have to repeat and repeat and repeat. So learn that. In your own mind, tell yourself, what am I constantly being told to look at by somebody else? What am I constantly being told? That person doesn't deserve to keep telling me the same thing again and again and again. What am I not listening to? Because if a message keeps coming to you again and again and again and again, what should you do? At least listen. Hear what it's saying. Our egos are so big. We think we're so incredible that we can do no wrong. Really, it's true, we can do no wrong. If we really live in the Spirit, then whatever you do is forgiven very quickly by you and all those around you. But when you live in selfishness, and you just want to take, I don't know one person who steals anything from anyone in any way, emotionally, physically. I do not know one person that does that, that is happy and peaceful. I don't. I know many people that are content with what they have. And they don't need to take anything from anyone that does not belong to them. And I have met many people like that are peaceful. There's your answer. Choice is ours. There's no punishment. Do you want to live a good life? You want to live a bad life? And of course, why does Sri Patanjali tell us, by the practice of non-stealing, all wealth comes? Again, cause and effect. Right? Scientific law. You don't steal, nobody's going to steal from you. If you steal, it's just going to be cause and effect. Even in an argument, you steal somebody's peace. If you start shouting, there'll come a time when they'll shout back at you. Then they steal your peace, cause and effect. So in everything in life, whatever you take will be taken from you. There's a lovely Sanskrit story that I would love to tell you about non-stealing. There was this guy who had, he lived across another village, and he had a couple of cows, and his cows gave really good milk. So every day he used to get bottles of milk, and he'd go to the village, next village, by boat, and sell the milk. And everybody loved his milk, so he got more cows, and he brought more milk, and everybody in the other village, oh, your milk is so delicious, can you get us more milk? So he became quite wealthy. Then one day he thought, look at all this money. You know what? I can double it. Everybody trusts me now. Everybody believes in me now. That if I put some water into the milk, they wouldn't even notice. So what did he do? He did that. And he did that for a few months and making a lot of money. And in the olden days, when they used to get the money, they used to put it in handkerchiefs. Did you ever see your mother do that? Because my mother did that. They used to put money in a handkerchief and tie it in a knot and put it in their waist. Any of you see that? Oh, okay, you did. The Indians used to do it. Even by purses, they used handkerchiefs, you know? Anyway, so they put the money in, so you put some money in one handkerchief and the other half in another handkerchief. and tied it to his waist. But there was a storm and the sea was very rough, and he told the boatman, "Boatman, I have to get to my village. I've got all this money on me. I've got to get back home." So as they're going across the river, there's this huge wave. And the wave, you know how water is so powerful, it just took away that handkerchief with all the money, half of the money that was in there. And he goes, "My money, my money." And the boatman looks at him and he goes, "Milk money stays with milk. Water money goes back to water." And you know, many times I have seen this, many times. You know, people tell me, "Oh, Nalanie, you say be good, but there are so many crooks making money out there, and they're all crooks, you know, and they're stealing from people." I said, don't judge the world. Don't do anything. The laws will take care of them. Just keep away and don't judge anything. Don't judge, or you yourself will be judged, Lord Jesus said. Just keep away. And every time we see they collapse. You know, we often talk about the financial situation in Spain. 6-7 years ago, they were charging incredible amounts for these buildings that weren't even built well. Water money goes to water, milk money goes to milk. Credit crunch. And they were conning so many people, and people falling for it because we're sheep, we're not leaders. So watch this. You take, and then I see people who sell drugs, etc. And I have had somebody like that I've known. And one day, this person found out that their child, the only child they had, was dying from leukemia. Asked me to come along. Don't know why they called me. It was odd. And so I went there and I found out, with all the abundance, that they were in the drug trade. And I spoke to them gently because they were saying, "God this, God that," blaming this, and "I've got all the money, take my child to all the best doctors and the best surgeons in England, London." Anyway, nothing could change their child's destiny. And I just said, "Look how much you have suffered for this child. That you both love this child so much." I said, "Please, in this moment, be compassionate to all those families that lost a child because of the drugs that you sell." I said, "I am so sorry to be so cruel, but please do not risk another life." Do you know they stopped? They lost their child. It's a hard lesson. But, you know, we get so blinded in greed. So what's the point? Have all the money in the world and you can't change your child's life. You can't save it. So what's the point to do all this? And so many of us fall into this kind of stealing. And you take from one place, it goes from another place. And how many people I have seen, you know, stress from their family, making money. I just got a story a few months ago. I think I told it, maybe here or Spain, or I don't know where I've told it, you know. And this man was saying, you know, and his wife said, "Darling, take me on holiday. Let's go on holiday. No, let's make money. Let's collect the big houses. Let's get this, let's get that. Collect. And, you know, that was his thing, just collect. And then she got into buying. Because it's an addiction, isn't it? You ask anybody who lives in that atmosphere. Many of them are addicted to things. They can't do without things. So anyway, what happens is, finally he decides, "I've made enough money, I'm going to retire. And we're going to do all the things we're going to do." 1 week after retirement, he dies. Heart attack. And you have to ask yourself, what is it all for? Yes, you must work. Make a good living. You must work. Work is wonderful. You must have a home to look after your family. But have enough. Take time off. Spend some time going for walks, talking to each other, please talk to each other. You have time to make money, but no time to communicate. You have time to make money, but no time to say, I love you. What kind of world are we living in? And then we say, oh, life is so boring. Who's made it so boring? Who's made it so mundane? Did anybody come and tell you every single minute of the day you have to be making money and and don't go home and don't give your family love and just get stressed until you get this, I'm so stressed, I'm panic. Of course you're getting in a panic. The soul's talking to you. Live, my friends. Wake up. That's your soul telling you. Wake up. Take time. I brought you to earth to enjoy a little bit of the earth, to walk, to hold hands, to laugh, to enjoy the blue sky and the beautiful flowers. But what have you done? You instead have enjoyed your greed and your stealing and your money. It's not money. It's a rich man's world, and it isn't. Because the more you take, the less abundant you feel. And the more you give, the more abundant you feel. The more abundant you feel. So share is really nice. It's really good fun. People are so scared to even share. They think they're going to get so poor by paying for somebody's cab, £3. You know, sometimes I really don't understand this world. And then they'll spend so much on a dress or something and they won't share a cup of coffee for someone or a nice cup of tea for you. Come, let me buy you a drink. Let me buy you something. No, I have to do it for me. I need that £3 to get my video or whatever you want, the DVD or this one. We're so possessive. We're so scared. And then we teach our children, oh, you better keep your money. Don't give everything to your friends. I used to tell my children all the time, share whatever you have. Mom, but you lost money to get us, they were in boarding school, to get tuck. I said, not all your friends are so lucky to get the tuck box. You know, they used to have this chest and you put all the food in the chest, you know, before term and you give it to them. Share. Always buy extra, share. Never be afraid to share. And to this day, they share. It's important to teach our children. They become happy when they share. They love themselves. Thank you. I love your haircut, by the way. Thank you. Phenomenal. It looks phenomenal. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Am I running over time now? Yeah. So, share. And then you feel so abundant, you feel so happy. And people feel so happy. They like to be around you because there's a feeling of wealth when you share, isn't there? It's a feeling of, I'm abundant. Are you abundant? Are you abundant? Anyone in this room? Do you feel abundant? Then say it. I feel so abundant. Can you say it? Say it loud.
I feel so abundant.
Feel it from here. Are you abundant?
Yes, it's so abundant.
Good girl. Yeah. Can you go up and show them, stand up and show them how it's done? Nalanie, you're a teacher.
I feel so abundant with love and life and peace and this beautiful teacher. Thank you.
But do you see how it makes you feel? Did you see how it lightens up the room? Do you see how light the room gets when you feel abundant? Do you feel how light your heart feels when you say those words? But you have to feel it. No, I feel abundant every day. I'm getting richer and richer. I read The Secret, so I realized that if I put, all these dollar signs in my wall, I'm going to get rich. Boy, I wish it was that easy. You know? You haven't understood abundance. We have abundance all the time. We have abundance in smiles, in love, in kindness, in our hearts, and that's real abundance. And that's really when you feel so rich, when you can help somebody in trouble, or when you can lift a heart or lift a day, you feel rich. How many people come to my office when they do a good deed and say, oh, Nalanie, Jasmine today, huh? What did she say to me today?
You know, she has all her phones ringing and people asking and needing her in a way.
She's the most, she felt so good. Yeah, because she's taken over, you know, we're helping this charity called Hogar Betania in Spain, Home for the Homeless. And I have so many projects. And she's taken this project over from us, and I love it. And she's organized so many things. She's got IKEA to donate. She's got this one to donate. I love it. It's so nice to see people do wonderful things. Did you mind me taking over? Mind? If everybody could take over, we can help so many more people. Isn't it true? Why? That's the whole idea of giving these teachings. And then she said to us, I don't know if all of you heard what Bhavani said. She was sitting at a meeting just now, and she said, I really understand now what you mean by when you serve, you feel so happy and so free. When I'm so busy helping them, and I got one phone here and one phone there, and my head is up, and they need this, and they need that, and they need that. And she goes, I never feel more happy than that moment. I'm so, she's so useful. And then she goes, and then I go, yeah, and now you realize when you're doing that, you forget your problems. And she goes, Nalanie, what problems are you talking about? Seeing these people, I have none. Do you see? You see, when you help others, you realize you have none. But if you're all day involved in just I, me, and mine, what do you see? As you think? You're thinking about your problems, you, me. Even in good deeds, I see people, I did this, and I did this, and I did this, and I... But you think it's a pleasure that you can serve. Why I, and then you're getting so angry with the I did, and they didn't do back for me, and I am so important, and there's another ego. Just be instruments, purity. Do it. If you're called to do it, finish. It doesn't even belong to us that you've been given the gift to share, that you can. Wow, how lucky are we to serve. They make us happy by service. We don't do anybody any favors. You think I'm doing you any favors by being here? You make me happy. I'm not caught in Nalanie needs this, Nalanie needs that. That's gone. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not important because we're family. And when the moment we feel family, and once we feel warmth inside our heart, it makes us sing. That's why I so understand the Upanishads, the oldest scriptures saying that God is the Lord of love. The Lord of love. I love that word for God because really think about it. When you are filled with love in your heart, unconditional love that expects nothing in return, how do you feel? It's blissful, isn't it? It's blissful. Love heals all. It really does. And know that that greatest gift is given to all of us inside our very own heart. Bhagavad Gita, deep in the hearts of all is the light of all lights. Deep in the hearts of all is the light of all lights. So this is where it starts. That's our clue. This is where it starts. Listen to these words and then put them in your life. There are many things in life that we will have to do that we don't want to do. Learn to love them. That was what my master taught me. Not every job is going to be brilliant. That's the test. Can you pass it? It's easy to pass the easy test. Can you pass the difficult ones? Because when you do, you like yourself more. And this is all in non-stealing. Living in abundance is non-stealing. So learn to always feel how blessed you are, how abundant you are. And the universe loves the music of abundance because it's musical. Oh, I don't have enough, I can't go on holiday. Create a holiday at home if you can't go on holiday. Holidays at home are great fun. You can catch up with all those things that you wanted to catch up. You can do hobbies, you can paint. What nice for me. I never have holidays at home. I'd love to have holidays at home. Because you can catch up with all those little things, potter around, can't you? So much fun. Shine your windows till they glitter. You know, they're just funny things that make you happy. Just feel abundant. You don't have to go anywhere to be happy. You just have to be happy where you are. Alright? Remember that. There is no one can make you happy. We're always expecting people to make us happy by giving us stuff. That's a bonus. Just be happy with yourself where you are. Then you steal nothing from the world, and the world will steal nothing from you. And all you will give out is joy. You don't give sadness out. You know, my master used to say all the time, you know, when people think, oh, I'm so depressed. You're not practicing yoga. So what do you mean? Gurudev, I'm depressed. He said, if you're practicing yoga, you should know you have no right to add more depression to the world. Is it already enough? Your duty is to not steal from the world. You need to make yourself joyful. That is your work. How simple. Master Shivananda, master of our master, used to say, if you're grumpy and in a bad mood, and when I read this, I really changed my life around. He said, you have no right, there's no right to contaminate anybody else's life. You are stealing from them. Go instead, lock yourself in the room, stay quiet till you learn not to be angry. And you know, I really took this teaching to heart and really worked with issues that, you know, that used to disturb me at that time. Big anger issues. And to lock myself in a room, and I remember my husband at that time would say, what are you doing? I said, I'm really angry and I don't want to say something I'll regret, so don't talk to me. And stay in, leave me alone. And I'd sleep till I got the anger out. I wake up and I'm like, oh, what a lot of nonsense. Thank God I managed to restrain the modifications of the mind stuff and maintain my peace, because you get up in the morning and they go, I love myself, I didn't lose it, I didn't lose it, I didn't lose it, yes, I'm free from it. Do you see the feeling it gives you? When you don't hurt somebody, it gives you a feeling of freedom. And so Sri Patanjali tells us, this is how to live our life. We've covered non-violence, we covered truthfulness in depth last week, always speak what is true. But how should you speak what is true? Somebody asked me that question just at the end of the class, and I said, oh, I must remember this week to answer this question. Sometimes when you speak the truth, people don't like to hear it. Choose the right time, number one. It should be at the right time. When somebody's in a bad mood, please don't choose that time to speak the truth. They will not take it well. When they're calm, when the mood is right and everybody's communicating, nice time to speak the truth. And how should you speak it? No, don't you always do this to me? Da, 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 da. Doesn't work. Then there's a war going on. Speak it with tranquility. This is as it is. You don't want to hear it? Fine. I'm just telling you this is as it is. Gently and beneficial for all. I'm telling you because it's not only beneficial for you, it's also beneficial for me. Because this, you doing this, hurts me. And when I get hurt, I hurt you back. So by saying the truth, we're avoiding all of that. So choose the right time, choose the right words, and say it with lots of tranquility. Never say the truth to someone when you're angry or in a bad mood, because they won't believe it. Alright? That's where we go wrong. Many times when I see people argue, I see they're not saying things that are wrong, they're saying things that are truthful. It's just the way they're saying it. You know, they're shouting instead of saying it in a tranquil manner. So when you speak the truth, always make sure you say it in a soft manner. I don't know why, when something is wrong between two people, either mother, daughter, or, you know, the example I gave earlier, when that girl knew how to speak the truth tranquilly. But I don't know why when there's something that's bothering them, I have seen this so often, they won't go straight up to them and say, you know, this is bothering me. Do you know it hurts me? They won't say it like that. They'll shout at them right away the first time. How dare you say that? I don't know why. People react. To no control. This is no restraint, right? Yoga's chitta vritti narodha. No control. Just speak without thinking. So learn to think first and then speak and then say the truth. And then, you know, if you say the truth many times and they don't listen, then you bang them. That's what Gurudev used to say. And I've noticed this happens anyway. I always say, you know, people tell me, oh, I feel I should do this, maybe I should do that. Yeah, follow your instincts. 1 year later, maybe I should do this. Follow your instinct. Anyway, what happens is maybe 4 years later, bang, there's a crisis. And I said, you know, they go, why did this happen to me? And I go, God knocked, but you didn't hear him. Then he knocked a little louder. You still ignored it. Then he banged at the door. You still wouldn't listen. When he broke the door down, you heard. And I've seen people do that so many times in their life. But if you could just listen when it knocks, when you get the knock, do it right away. Then you don't have to suffer. So that, listen to the truth. Listen to the truth. You're not always wrong, and you're not always right. And that's really the truth. And when you can understand that, you will understand that people make mistakes, and they see things differently from you. Learn to put yourself into someone else's shoes. Not everyone has the same background as you. Some people come from very difficult homes and very difficult backgrounds. Please have compassion for those people. But also know, when you go into a relationship, it is wise to choose people from similar backgrounds, not because of anything. It'll make your life easier. It just makes your life easier. Sometimes we don't restrain and we just fall, but we don't observe, we're not aware. Choose well, think well. You know, and watch where your thoughts are taking you. How many times people get together for the wrong reasons? For financial success, or to have good homes or good cars. I never see that work. And if you love, love unconditionally. Keep those wonderful vows. Otherwise, don't make them. Simple. And then you find your peace in life. Only because you're observing the greatest laws. Sri Patanjali tells us, these great vows are universal, not conditioned by class, place, time, or circumstance. In other words, no excuses for breaking these laws. You break them, you face the consequences. Got it? There's no punishment. Just always forgive yourself, always forgive others, that's all. Didn't Lord Jesus say that to Peter when he asked how many times should we forgive? What did he answer? 70 by 7.
7 times 7.
70, oh I like that, the 3 sevens. 77 by 7. Does not our Father in heaven do more for each one, more than that for each one of you? So, and that's what we keep doing with ourselves, and that's what we do with the world. And then we don't steal from the world, and we live a good life, simply. And keep asking yourself when you get into mind games, who's right, who's wrong. Keep asking yourself this simple question. Who wants peace? Do I want peace or do I want to be right? Keep asking these were the questions I asked myself. Is it important to be right or is it important to have peace? Sometimes it's just a silly argument. A lot of nonsense. I want peace. I'm not going to go into this, So think about it. Who wants the peace? The person who wants the peace has to be the one who works for it. The person who doesn't want it will suffer. So fight for yourself. Love yourselves enough to spend every day in silent time. Think about these things. Practice this in your life every day. And now I'd like to, if you have any questions, if I finish, otherwise I'll finish off with a meditation. Any questions? Okay. So if you don't mind sitting with your spine erect. Thank you. Take a slow, deep breath. And exhale. Take another slow, deep breath. And feel all the tension leave your spine, back of your neck, back of your head, shoulders, legs. Inhale again. And as you exhale, send wonderful energy to everyone in this room. Just surround the room with a golden light. And now, just imagine a beautiful golden light surrounding your body. It's sparkling. It's a protection. It protects you. Imagine it like your shield, your force field that keeps you away from danger. And see this golden light surround your entire body. Now bring this light to your heart. And see this beautiful light in the shape of a ball. Beautiful golden ball, beautiful. And then see yourself inside this ball of light. As you address today, see yourself, look at yourself, watch yourself. And you merge with this light, this energy, this quantum consciousness, this God, whatever you want to call it, this truth, and you merge in it. And you merge more into this light. And you go deeper into this light. And you feel safe. And it's quiet. All it does is be. As you bathe in this light, and just really feel as if it's a shower of light going through your body. Imagine every single cell in your body is healing, is joyful, is full of love and kindness, strength, generosity, straightforwardness. See yourself smiling, see yourself joyful, see yourself brave, see yourself loving, see yourself with all these qualities that you so admire in the great ones. But see it. If you can see it, you can be it. You are it. You've just forgotten. See yourself walking through life with this light surrounding you, this light within you, protecting you. And as you come through any darkness, just imagine yourself as a ball of light, walking through it and lighting the way for others. Walking through the darkness and lighting the way for others. See it. Be strong. Be brave. Give people light. And now, to finish off, we ask, may every single word we speak be truthful, be honorable. May every thought be pure, be kind. May we be blessings upon this earth. And may we live good lives and be examples to so many, and help them find their peace and their way back to the light. As Lord Jesus said, ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. So it is up to us to do these things. Please take a slow, deep breath. And exhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And it means in English, may the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May all our families, friends, and especially those who hurt us be filled with peace and joy, love and light. May the light of truth overcome all the darkness. Victory to that light. Jai Shri Satguru Satchidananda Ji Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you all for spending this hour with me.